Shalom, Mike. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Rakah Kodash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. I'd like to say Shalom to the elect that teach his word in all true faith and sincerity. And today, I just want to title this lesson: Restrictions, Lockdowns, and Martial Law. And this is what the devil got in his plan, to submit, his new world order. It's going to be by the way of his military and subduing the people, man. And that's what we seeing happening worldwide. See, it's not known as a new world order for now, because these conglomerates of nations are in on the same agenda, man. That's why everybody was so called affected by the crime, this pandemic, man. But at the end of the day, the so-called white man is going to declare his wickedness. He's going to show himself to be the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. And it's being known now by the way these laws and legislation that's being passed. The word mandatory being thrown around more frequent. Where he got his rhetoric, then with his media. But we in that time. So this is from the Wall Street Journal. And it reads, what crown lockdowns and disruptions in Europe signal to the U.S., see? Because ultimately, everything that's happening throughout the planet Earth, all these commotions and turmoil that's happening throughout the planet Earth, is going to reach its climax here in America, man. This is where the Lord's going to throw the kitchen sink at, here in this place. It says, some countries in Europe are finding jabs aren't enough as the crown cases surge. and it lets you know that crown ain't going nowhere, man. This is what this man, this is that opportunity that he's going to try to seize in this battle with that crown. And as you can see, concerning that crown, you got to get jabbed up, you got to get stabbed, he got to pierce you. So how much more when that thing come, man? So I just read this first paragraph. It reads, lockdowns, jab requirements, and travel restrictions have swept Europe amid rising crown infections and concerns over a variant detected in South Africa. See, so that lets you know it is not going away. And the pressure is on. He putting the clamps down, restrictions, requirements, lockdowns. Those are common words now in today's in everybody's vocabulary. These are the most common words used nowadays. Required, lockdown, restrictions. A new variant. That's a phrase that's been used more and more lately. It says highlighting new challenges ahead for the U.S. as officials want to avoid more shutdowns. See, but really, the devil telling you it's coming. He trying his best, but he can't help that if he gotta shut it down. This nigga want to do that. This all part of the plan, the so-called white man. And it's all an effort. This is all an act of desperation, man. This is all an act of desperation. So let's get this in the book of Ecclesiastes Sirach 12. In 16, it says, an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. And you just read a part of it. He said they want to avoid shutdown, but they just might have to, concerning the things that new surge, that new variant. You know, what is all part of his plans? That's why I said in his heart he imagined of how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood, and that's why this man is going to try to seize the moment with this crown. You know, and as we see this process take place, this man is going to get to the point the sword going to have to come into play, because he's getting more resistance. You know, nobody's buying on what he's presenting. So ultimately, he's gonna have to up that thing, man. It says, if adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet he shall undermine thee, yeah, because he's the one that caused the problem and present a solution that's gonna benefit him. You know, and if you ask the devil to help you, you have been in a worse case than you was before you got that help from him. And people gonna find that out the hard way, man. You know, it says he will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much, going into the imagining, and change his countenance. See, so the face of this devil gonna change, and it's gonna play out through his laws. You know, those severe, harsh, draconian laws, man. That's when you gonna notice, man, the devil then. You know, like I quoted, said at the last he's gonna declare his wickedness. We in that last stage of this man trying to fulfill his new world order. You know, so he gotta show himself. He gotta show that he's, you know, somebody's gonna rob you. You know, they might play it out to it's the point they feel like it's the time to rob you. Then, you know, that gun in your face, you know he was there to rob you. You know, that's how it's gonna be when the so-called white man, you know, and everything is already lined up and laid out for him to justify and set shit down and going into people's homes, and he got concentration camps or so-called crown quarantine centers or whatever you want to call it. It's to detain you. You know, all these things are already laid out now. He had waged war on the people, but really, in that, he want the ones that have the testimony of Yahushua, the one that got this truth. So let's get this, the book of Proverbs 12, verse 18. It says, there is that speaketh like the piercings of a sword. See, and that's talking about the so-called white man. When he opened his mouth, it's set up to wage war on you, and that's concerning his laws and his legislations. You know, and his rhetoric, what he put forth on the media. You know, demonization. All that is an effort to make him look like the good guy at the end of the day, to enforce his will. You know, but all those laws is been rights. You know, every speech is, you know, all the way down to a commercial. All this is effort to push forth his agenda, and all of this death, man. At the end of the day, you know, it's death. But it says there is that speaker like the piercings of a sword. Oh, it tells you that. Matter of fact, let's get this in Proverbs 30. Matter of fact, Proverbs chapter 30. Yep, verse 14. It says, there is a generation whose teeth are as swords, and their jaw teeth as knives, to devour the poor from off the earth, and the needy from among men. See, so this generation, talking about these Edomites, you know, in this age, it says this man's teeth are as swords, and their jaw teeth as knives. See, because that's going to his law, his legislation, his rhetoric, is all an effort to kill you, to devour you. And we about to see these things play out, you know, those different executive orders. You know, you talk about J. Him and all these different, you know, executive orders. Guess what? It's gonna get to the point they're gonna activate. These things gonna be activated. You know, there's a thing called summary execution. Those things are actually gonna come into play in the time that we're in, and this is all an effort for this man to crown his enterprise success. This is what he came to the conclusion. This is how he's gonna be able to do this. You know, it's through, you know, his military, man. Locking the people down, subduing the people, making them take that thing, you know. But it's talking about the so-called white man. Who else could it be talking about? You know, so let's go back. Proverbs 12, verse 18. It says, there's that speak of like the piercings of a sword. See, and that's talking about Esau. Because he speaks, you know, like I said, destruction, man, at the end of the day. Tell they continually gathered together for war. It was the war on drugs, the war on terrorism. Now it's the war on the crown. You got a crown task force. And you know anything about a task force, that's military term, man. So everything is about selling around war with the so-called white man. It says, but the tongue of the wise is health, and it's the wise is the prophets. And this is health, man. This is how you become whole. You know, but you see the you know, the balance. It's one that speak of like piercing swords, death, you know, and destruction, but also you got one that's the tongue of the wise is health, man. And that's what this man also gonna come out, because you know, these words is true. The testimony of Yahweh Shai is what's forming this man's plan. You know, this is what's frustrating him, and it's gonna drive him to do these, you know, these shutdowns and declare martial law, and to, you know, go into these people's homes, and there's gonna be certain orders just to lay the house out or the whole neighborhood. You know, why? Because he's been frustrated, he's been disappointed. Let's get this, Job 5 verse 12. It said he disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. See? So he's been disappointed because those enchantments are not working no more, man. The images are being broken. You know, people are looking through that shit, man. You know, what he put on the news. People see through that shit now. You still got people that just, you know, just totally engulfed in America. You know, they favorite snacks are Pringles and shit. Of course, they're gonna go with the flow. You know, but it's Lord put the spirit of truth upon the planet Earth, where people are now seeing through this devil bullshit. So now he's being disappointed. He can't, you know, run circles around the people as he did before. He said he taketh the wise at their own craftiness. See, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. See, so now he's hastening it. Because he's on the clock, man. So that's why he came out the oven with the crown. This is what he have to, you know, they say play the cards you dealt with. This is the cards he's dealing with. He got to somehow figure a way to trick the people through the crown. And it's not working, man. It says they meet with darkness in the daytime and grope in the noonday as in the night. See, so because they meet with dark, mean what? They're being exposed now. Their agenda is being made known, from depopulation to, you know, tagging the world by the way of that MOTB. From little things as the music industry and all. This man is being exposed on all levels, even to his origins. Who is he? The Edomite himself. This is why this man is on the clock. This is why he's hastening and trying to make this thing happen. You know? And they grope in the noonday as the night, because ultimately this man don't do well when a criminal don't do well when the light is on him, when the spotlight on him. Especially this nigga just got through doing some dirty shit. You know what I mean? He still got gun residue on his hand. He began to reach and, and just what we said, the so-called white man, these different false flags of text. He didn't even it wasn't a well thought out plan. He just threw some shit together and hope the people bite on it. But guess what, man? People see through it. It says, but he saved the poor from the sword and from their mouth and from the hand of the mighty. See, because that's what ultimately going to lead to. He can't trick you no more, so now he got to kill you. You know? And that's what it's about to come down to, this man declaring martial law and enforcing his will upon the people. See, it was a point he was going to be able to, with the crown, you can put your name in the lottery. You will pay for a couple of lap dances. Or you get you a free burger and fries, you take that jab. Now it's to the point, you better do this. You better do it, you ain't going to work no more. Or you better get the job, you ain't going to be able to go in that grocery store. That's where it's coming to. That's where it's at. So how much more when that thing come? You know? But this is how this man in his warped thinking think that he's gonna, fulfill his new world order. Let's get this in the book of Revelation 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. See, so this nigga know himself he about to kick the bucket. He know that he's, there's only a couple of seconds left on the clock. So this is why, it's a thing called a Hail Mary, or a full court shot. This nigga finna go all out, man. So that's why more draconian laws is gonna be passed, more restrictions, more lockdowns. The pressure is coming, man. Well, it's here, but it's gonna only intensify. Why? Because the pressure on this nigga, man. He hurting. And it's gonna be clearly, it's gonna be more obvious in the time to come when them troops in your neighborhood. You know what I mean? But Lord, when I hope to edify Akim, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem HaKadosh. Double honor to the apostle and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect to teach word and all truth.